Okay, so I'm just going to start off with a little survey that was on today. It says 55% of people are absolutely certain that there's an afterlife, 37% are not certain, and 8% are certain that there isn't an afterlife. I kind of found it a little interesting, especially considering all the different religions we have and how only half of us are certain that there is one. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about Heaven, which is the movie, and my name's Erin Cotter. So first I just want to give you the plot of the movie, just the beginning parts of it. So basically this girl Marley, she kind of lives her life carefree and has like no responsibilities in her life. I mean, she has a job and everything, but she likes to live like she has no responsibilities. But her body is starting to like get wear and tear, so she decides to just go to the doctors to make sure everything's fine. And while she's under anesthesia for all of these tests she's getting done, she sees God, who she actually sees as Whoopi Goldberg. But God tells her that she's going to die. So that's the whole plot of the movie. But I'm going to go back. So when she wakes up, the doctor tells her that she is going to die of terminal cancer. And she kind of just accepts the news with humor, and she thought it was all just a dream, basically, what was going on. But I want to go back to Marley meeting God because I kind of think that's an important part of the movie. So she informs her that she's going to die, and then she grants her 3 wishes. So her first wish is to fly, and she jokingly says it, thinking like, yeah, there's no chance I can die, or I can fly. But then God was like, okay. And she's like, oh, okay, then I want $1 million. And she's like, well, you didn't say taxable, so there's $500,000 gone. So she gets taxable $1 million. And then the third one she doesn't really reveal, but she is just kind of implied that she wants to fall in love because she refuses to fall in love because she has this carefree personality. But I want to go and watch this movie, or this part of the movie. It's just her meeting God that I thought was a little interesting.
Where the hell am I?
Hello, Marley.
Wait a minute. Oh my god. I mean,
Are you God? Well, not really. This is just the way you wanted to see me.
well, I love Whoopi, so that's probably why.
Yeah, me too. Oh, have a seat.
Wow. Can't believe it.
Guess what? You're dying.
I am not dying. I'm just a little stressed, that's all.
Marley, you're dying. But I'm gonna give you 3 wishes.
Then I want to fly.
Okay, done.
Wait a minute. This is for real? I want $1 million.
All right, but I just have to warn you that $1 million is only gonna be $500,000 after taxes.
You just took away half because I didn't say tax-free.
Even I don't mess with the IRS.
Sucks.
Third wish?
Okay.
Tick-tock,
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, don't rush me. Jesus.
Hey!
Oh,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
You said it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know what I want.
You know, you just don't want to admit it.
So I'm just going to stop there. Basically, that's the whole point of it. She doesn't ever say that's what she wants, but God knows that's what she wants. So I just want to start with a discussion question. So I've been reading a lot about like near-death experiences and like how some people view the afterlife, like Heaven is for Real, that movie. So I just wanted to know your thoughts on it. Like, do you think that they are real, that people are seeing an afterlife, or it's just what they picture in their head, kind of like how she pictures Whoopi as God? I mean, not saying that that's false, but that's just what she views. Yeah.
Sorry. So there have been studies that say that your brain can survive a couple of minutes after death. So when you die, your brain's still kind of functioning and you're still kind of capable of thought. So I think that people are like imagining it or dreaming it almost. that it's happening to them, and that's where people get like these near-death experiences in the afterlife.
Anybody else? Different? Yeah, Nat?
One thing I kind of believe is like, okay, so it's real, but it's also your real. So it's going to be different for every person. When that person believes there's no afterlife, or that there is a God and there's an afterlife, when regardless of the brain activity after death or whatever it is that happens after you die, I think that what happens is real for you, and it might not be the truth for someone else, but it is the truth.
Okay. So then I kind of just want to go into a little bit about heaven and just how we portray it. I know we've discussed this, we've done texts on heaven and hell, but I want to go specifically on heaven because that's what she views. So one of the quotes is from the Bible, obviously. It says, "I saw no temple in the city, for its temple is the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb. And our city has no need for sun or moon to shine on it, for the glory of God is its light, and its lamp is the Lamb." So anyways, it basically just says like there is no need for like, it's just so bright and sunny because God's view is just, and his power is just so powerful and bright that it can bring upon all these different individuals, which I thought was an interesting way to see that. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about this text where it says, "And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no death, no sorrow, nor crying. There shall be no more pain, for the former things have passed away." And I think that's super important because she is going through cancer, so it's going to be one of the hardest times of her life. And she's going to have all this pain and sorrow, and she's going to feel pain, and she's going to cry. And I think it's important to know that maybe the reason she is seeing this heaven while she's under anesthesia is because so she'll know that there will be no pain and no suffering in the near future. So I thought that was interesting. And then I just want to go back to her wishes. So later on in the movie, she does win flying lessons on the radio. It's like, oh, you're the 97th caller, and she gets to go hang gliding. Is her version of flying. And then she finally gets up the nerve to tell her boss that she has cancer, and he was like, oh, we have a life insurance policy for $1 million, but it's taxable, so here's $500,000. So she gets that. And then she starts to fall in love with the doctor that diagnosed her cancer, and you see it kind of pursue a little bit more throughout the movie. But she eventually just pushes him away because she realizes that she's gonna die, and she doesn't want to like fall in love with somebody and then have to die and leave him behind and leave him crushed. So my discussion question for this topic is, do you think that miracles can happen, and how? So like her 3 wishes, do you think, you know, you always hear about these people being cured of these miraculous diseases just randomly, like, do you think they occur, and why? Yeah.
I didn't have to raise my hand up. That's nice. I think that miracles are possible, but I think it's about human perseverance. Sometimes I think like if you're young enough, if you're healthy enough, if you believe enough, and your body fights for you and with you on that, your mind fights the idea that you're going to die, and sometimes people fight hard enough that it somehow happens. It could be biological, or it could just be like they're so damn stubborn about it that they just won't die.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's interesting, especially because they have like the placebo effect and stuff on medicine now. You can like, oh, you're going to take this Advil, it's going to make you feel better. Obviously, it does work in a certain way, but you could also perceive it to work. Anyone else have a different opinion? No? Okay. So then later, after she pushes Julian away, she goes into, God comes into her dreams, and she's taking a nap, and she just comes back in her dreams and says, like, you can't let this like thing that's coming to happen to you in the future stop you from falling in love and doing all the things you want to do before you can die. So then she decides to tell Julian that she's in love with him, which I think is a main point because it realizes that the closer she's getting to God, the more she's able to accept her diagnosis and like fulfill her life. So she starts to get closer to God, and then she can also do all these things that she wants, even though she's going to die eventually. And so in the end, she does eventually die, but she has a celebration of life, her family does, for her. And so in this scene, you can see that's a celebration of life behind her, and she's dancing and she's drinking champagne with God. You can see they're like just dancing together and having a blast. And in the final scene, you can see Julian look over at where she is dancing, and he just smiles, and it kind of just makes you feel like he knows she is there. So I just wanted to know what you guys thought. Like, do you think that your loved ones are watching over you? I mean, for me, I personally like to think that people who have passed away are watching over me in my life, especially important times. Like, I got into a car accident and like totaled my car, and I could have hit a telephone pole like a foot away, but like I happened to miss it by like complete accident. So like I like to feel that somebody was watching over me in that situation, but it's up to you guys. What do you guys think? Yeah.
Even though I don't necessarily believe that people live on after they die, the thought of it is nice. But watching over me, I don't want them to experience the sad times with me. I don't want them to experience some of the hardships and pain I have to go through. I would almost rather they just, remember me as like a little girl, or just remember me being happy, wishing me happiness, rather than having to experience all of it.
Anybody else? Yeah.
I also would like to think that your loved ones, after they've passed, like anything over you, like you said, there's like instances when I feel like I almost got into a car accident, and it's like someone's like watching over me and like helping me out in that situation, and like that's why like it's important.
I think it's just comforting to know, like, to feel that someone is watching over you, whether that's true or not. It's just comforting to me. And so lastly, I just want to end with a quote from Death's Summer Coat, and it just says, "Dying is a process carried out by the living. It is in fact the most challenging and daunting experience of life," which I think she shows in her last few months of being alive is like, yes, it's a daunting experience, but it was also one of the best times of her life because she got to do all these things that she wanted to do. So I think that's kind of, they might have taken it more like it's a horrible experience and it's going to happen to everybody, but also you can experience everything you want while you're dying.